kind of watched him develop. And he's a good player. He's a tough kid, good competitor. So I'm excited to compete against him.
Sure. I know this is a little off topic. Cody White was a couple years older than you.
Yeah,
Walled
Lake.
I mean,
yeah.
he had a huge moment on Sunday. What was that like, seeing a Warrior do that?
Yeah, no, it was cool. The Warriors, man, he's on the wall too, the Wall of Fame. So I think it's cool. I think he's just another guy who's just paving the way. Big Ten guy. I think he played at Michigan State. Yeah, Big Ten guy. Just leaving the jersey in a better place. So hopefully I can one day contribute on Sundays as well.
What is Oregon
about your anticipation for a big game? Do you do anything different in terms of preparation, like visualization? Like, what's key for you going into a big game mindset-wise?
Yeah, I think I kind of try and keep the same mindset for every single game. But I think the visualization is the big thing about it with every single game. If you can't see yourself making the plays, in your dreams or as you're watching the film, then it's kind of hard to do it on Saturdays. But I wouldn't say there's any difference. I try in each week to prepare harder than I did the week before, and I try in each practice to give more, and each day to find a way to give a little bit more. So I think you just keep that mindset going, and every game kind of just figures itself out.
When you got a big game like this, how helpful is it to actually have a bye week to be able to get a little bit of a deeper look on film of a team? Even though, they're doing the exact same thing with Oregon also having the bye, but do you like having that extra bit of preparation, or would you rather just keep momentum rolling the way you guys have been?
Yeah, I think the bye week's good, obviously, because, it's giving us an opportunity to rest our bodies. I think that was the best part. It definitely gives us, an opportunity to get a jump on film. Ideally, you have the bye week and they don't, so you can kind of watch the game that they just played. But I think it's just a good opportunity. It's going to be a nice, fair competition. We both got the bye week. We both were able to get a jump on each other, and we're both going to be competing on Saturday. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be physical, and I'm excited.
What stands out to you the most about this Oregon offense?
I think what just stands out to me the most is they got a lot of synergy. They know what they're doing. The receivers know what they have to do. Quarterback knows where he's got to put the ball. The running backs know when they got to run hard. And I think they know when they need to make the plays. I think it's just going to be a testament to us on defense. Are we going to be able to react? Stop them in their funky formations. And we just got to be on a high alert at all times.
You guys have been taking a lot of pride in forcing turnovers and making big stops like that. To do that against an Oregon team that has shown they like to take the top off of defenses, how important is that again this week?
Yeah, no, it's going to be important. We got to get the ball back to our offense. We got an explosive offense. Mark's a great leader over there, so we got to find a way to get the ball back and mitigate the big plays. But I think that's what it's going to come down to: mitigate the big plays. And turnovers are nice, but we can't force nothing. We just got to let the ball find us and just do our job to the best of our ability. And I think that's what we've been doing these past few weeks. Things just start clicking. So.
And speaking of clicking, you guys have been building to this game in terms of play-wise, confidence-wise. Do you think it's a benefit to you guys in terms of confidence that you're playing them at this point in the season?
Yeah, no, I think it's just God allowed the stars to align this way, and I think that's what it's about. KF talks about each and every game, you gotta just get better each and every game and keep progressing. And he's the quote I think about is Dwight Eisenhower: "The outlook is always forward." That's what it's about. Sometimes you're gonna get knocked down. Even on Saturdays, it's football. They're paid too. They might make a play too, but it's all about the response and the resolve and how are we attacking the next play that's ahead. And I think that's what it's about. Is just what's next.
You a history guy?
I'm not a history guy. He just drops the little notes. Yeah.
It helps the spark notes.
Yes.
Thanks, Koen.
Thank you.
What's the challenge to preparing for a mobile quarterback like Moore?
The challenge, I think it's just, we played a few mobile quarterbacks this year, so I think the challenge kind of just stays the same. But I think the biggest thing is just how can we be, detailed. He's mobile, so it might extend the plays a little bit longer, so we might need to be in coverage a little bit longer. But I think the biggest thing is just how can we play together. The D-line, we have a great D-line. They get knocked back. Linebackers are going to be pursuing to the ball, and then as a back end, we got to be the cleanup crew and mitigate big runs. And if he scrambles outside the pocket, we got to find a way to stick onto our guys and just kind of limit those explosive plays.
You mentioned you've played a couple mobile quarterbacks this year. What makes him unique compared to those other guys?
I think one thing about Dante, he's a tough kid. He's a competitor. And I think he makes a lot of good decisions. So I think that's definitely going to be one of the tougher things. But I'm excited. It's going to be a good opportunity.
Michigan kid, right?